The book of Habakkuk is a really interesting book, and it's actually a kind of a book for today. And when I read through this book, even though it's a small book, there are so many foundational truths in this book that can apply to our lives, right? From just the state of the nation here in this book reads very, very similar to our nation, Canada. Right? Yet there are so many foundational truths in here. For example, I bet you didn't know, the just will live by faith. It's in this book, right? The knowledge of the glory of the Lord shall cover the earth like the waters cover the sea. It's in this book, right? And there's also a bunch of woes in here, curses that are in here, that it has a nation, as a nation here in this book, acts very much like our nation. And it's like, God, what are we going to do? Because Habakkuk's heart was a heart cry for righteousness, for justice, for a move of God, just like us, right? And so let's look at what he does and his posture is. And it's very similar to us. It's so good. Chapter 2, I will stand at my watch. That's us. That's us. Watchmen, prayer people, intercessors, people who love prayer, people who love the voice of the Lord, people learning how to pray. That's us. I will stand at my watch and my station myself on the ramparts, and I will look and see what he will say to me. Isn't that interesting? I will look to see what he will say to me. He's looking to the Lord to see what he will say. And I've said this many, many times. You know, the part of being a part of them in the secret place, praying to the Lord and listening to the door and having a real live prayer life is because we're watching to see what the Lord is doing. Jesus said this, I only do what I see the Father doing. I only say what I hear him saying. And so Habakkuk is in this same posture, and it's the same kind of posture we should be taking. And he says, and this is the answer. And it says, and the Lord replied, write down the revelation, the vision, and make it plain on tablets so that a herald may run with it, for the revelation or the vision awaits an appointed time, right? It's coming. It's coming when it's supposed to come. Are we there yet? That's what my kids used to say. We will be there when we get there. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. And that waiting isn't just like standing on a bus, waiting for a bus to come, or waiting for Christmas, or waiting for holidays. No, it's an active, engaged wait. It's an anticipatory wait. It's a waiting with anticipation that God is going to answer. Right? In the same way, in Isaiah, they that wait on the Lord, they will renew their strength. Those that hope in the Lord, this wait is a more hope-based than just filling in time. You know what I mean? That's where it is. But listen to here. So here he goes on and says, though it lingers, it comes. And then he starts to talk about the woes. And there are many woes here that are very similar to our nation, right? Woes to him who builds his realm by unjust gain. Like even, you can stretch that another, see how growth is coming by unjust gain. How did they get to where they were? Was it legitimate or was it through schemes? Was it authentic? Or was it through conniving and backroom deals, right? Those kinds of things. How did they get there? How did they get the power? How did they get that? Interesting here. Look at this one here. Woe to him who builds a city or a nation on bloodshed. And if that doesn't speak to us as Canada and our obsession with death culture, look at medical assistance in dying. 1 in 20 Canadians, 1 in 20 deaths in Canada are results of medical assistance in dying. This is absolutely ridiculous. Take a look at this. Anti-Semitism. Last year, 2025, I was just at a thing on Monday with the B'nai B'rith, and they had over 6,800 recorded incidences of anti-Semitism in our nation. It's over the top. There's a coalition here. And then we see the abortion culture, and we see this. So we see this culture that seems to say it is our right and we want to embrace death. That's what they say. I was listening to a political party's convention just a little while ago, and they were saying, this culture is Canadian culture. This is a shame. This is a sin. This is debauchery. But there's more. Let's go on. But out of the same chapter, out of this little tiny book, it says this, that the knowledge of the glory of the Lord is in spite of all the garbage, but the knowledge of the glory of the Lord will cover the earth. The knowledge of the glory of the Lord will cover Canada like the waters cover the sea. And how do we do that? Because that's actually quite transactional, right? It's not just that thoughts pop into our head, the knowledge just kind of gets planted there. Now I'm saying this does happen sometimes. We've seen this in the Muslim community where they just get the revelation. They have dreams of the man in white. I met a young man just a little while ago and he had a dream and in the dream he realized that Jesus was the Son of God. So that's coming. And that's wonderful and supernatural. But we are called to go into all the world to make disciples of nations. That's what we're called to do, right? That's the transaction of the knowledge of the glory of the Lord covering the earth like the waters cover the sea. And that comes from our testimonies. That's from us saying, Lord, let me tell of your name. That word means hallelujah. And hallelujah isn't an inside word, it's an outside word. It's like, let me tell you what the Lord has done for me. Let me tell you how God is alive in my life. Let me tell you of the glory of the Lord that's evident right now in my life. Then we move to chapter 3. And this is a prayer that Habakkuk prays. And I want to say this. So even though we're waiting, right? We know what we're supposed to do, waiting with hope, those who hope in the Lord. And yet we are speaking with our mouths, so we will make known his revelation. With our mouths, we will make known his goodness to all generations. And listen to this. And he says this, Lord, I have heard of your fame. I stand in awe of your deeds. O Lord, renew them in our day, and in our time make them known. In wrath, remember mercy. So our heart's cry is for, Lord, remember Canada. But we will tell of your goodness. We will tell of your greatness. We will tell of your name to Canada and the ends of the earth. I'm Chris Bybert, the director of the National House of Prayer, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.